Hello, good morning, happy Saturday. Good morning, this is Choma, aka Married Army Bo, coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, so who is joining me today? So, I have a secret, top secret for you today. One of the greatest marriage secrets I found. I want to share it with people. Only smart women will love this one. Only smart women, truth seekers and truth lovers, because I'm all for truth. You know, a lot of these truths, our parents, mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, they refuse to share these things with us. But I know that I've been created for this, and I am going to spill it all out. Trust me. As soon as I find them, it's coming on this platform. Trust me. Don't worry. The secrets, there won't be any secrets anymore. So let's go right into it. Ladies, well, this applies to men, but usually I don't talk to men when I'm talking. But if there are men on my platform who think that the things I'm saying are interesting to them and they want to take advantage of it, wow, that is for them. Good for them. But I speak to ladies. I'm a woman, and my focus is on ladies. I want to help women. I want to help them to get these things right. For the ones that want to be helped, because I discovered that a lot of women, they are not looking for help. They are happy where they are and with what the things that are going on with them. But like I said, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned on this issue. So this secret that I found, ladies, if you must get married, please suspend baby making for the first 4 to 5 years. Should I repeat myself? If you must get married, please suspend baby making, having babies, having children for the first 4 to 5 years. See, this secret I'm sharing with you, only 2 people have said this to me. And funny, at the time, I heard it from 2 different people, one a man, one a woman. At the time they shared this with me, of course, you're still in that euphoria, honeymoon, you're not hearing anything people are saying. But now, I agree with them that they were right. So I'm going to tell you why this is so important. I know that the society, the culture, especially in Nigeria, in Africa, one of the reasons that a woman gets married is just to procreate. They've told her that she's here to make babies, to have babies. That's the only thing that, a woman has been defined with. But as a woman listening to this program today, if you've put yourself under pressures because you have spent 4 years already searching for a baby and you've not gotten that baby yet, rejoice, because you're actually doing the right thing. You're saving yourself a lot of trauma. I tell you, you're better off spending the first 0 to 5 years of your life doing some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you right now. This is top secret, and like I said before, very few people will tell you this thing that I'm telling you right now. And because I am all for truth, I'm breaking the plague of silence around these issues, and that is why I'm letting it out for those who want to run with it, for those who are still single, and even for generations that are yet to come, because I believe that those are the people that will really run with these things that I'm talking about. This generation that I am in, These ones, I don't think they understand what we're saying. So I'm going to tell you why the first 4 to 5 years of your marriage, you should actually remain childless. You don't need a child at that time as a woman, even as a man. But like I said, I'm talking to women. 1, statistics has it that most marriages, 50% of marriages, end up in divorce within those years, within the first 5 years. Let me tell you why this happens. You've met this guy, you didn't know him, or you knew him, he's your friend, or you guys just started talking to yourself, and finally you both of you decide that you want to, get settled down, get married, and live together. The first few years of your marital experience is for you to develop friendship, develop understanding, create a bond between yourselves. You don't need intruders at that time. You don't need third parties at that time. Babies are third parties to any marriage relationship, 0 to 5 years. You don't need any distractions at that time. Both of you are supposed to align in your values, in your understanding of each other in the first 5 years of your relationship. This is the time that you're supposed to make a definite plan and position your home for how you want it to run. You don't need any other distraction at this time. So that is it. And as many as are the people that didn't do this, you find out that once the baby comes into that union, the story changes. That is when both the man and the woman, they get confused. They start attacking themselves because they didn't prepare for that child. So if you really, really want to have it easy, fun, and you want to enjoy your marriage as a couple, please, the first 5 years of that union, devote it to getting to know yourself. That one you people did when you were courting, that is not getting to know. You guys were just faking. You're faking, You're trying to please each other so that both of you can, live together. When you start living together, that's where you know the real person that you have married. So, people will say, God forbid, if your own union falls into the category of those ones that may end up falling apart within those first 5 years, you will save yourself a lot more trauma if you didn't bring a child into that union. So, keep the baby out of it, 0 to 5 years, simply because those years are defining years for a couple. Those are the years a couple decides whether they are moving forward or they are moving backward. And if you bring in a child into that union by this time, you just end up complicating your problems. For example, if you married a young man, who you realize by the first year or by the second year that he has tendencies to abuse you, to beat you up, to treat you like you don't mean anything, and you've already had your first or your second baby in that union, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So the first 5 years, that is the time for you to discover one another. All the skeletons you people kept in your cupboards and locked up the cupboards and threw away the key in the sea of forgetfulness, those are the years to discover some of those things that everyone was hiding from each other. So that is not a time to bring a child into a union. You save yourself a lot of problems if you do that. Trust me. If you do this thing I'm telling you, you will thank yourself in future. So that is it. The first point I've made here is 50% of marriages end up separate. 60% of married people may divorce in their first 5 years. Yeah, you say it's not yours, it's not your calling, it's not going to happen to you, but you can never know. That's one reason why, if you want to get married, suspend baby making for the first 5 years. Now I move to the second point. As a woman, especially in this time when young girls just leave school, they come out from school and everyone is on their case to get married. If you fell or you have fallen into this category, or you are planning to make a decision like this, my sister, the next thing you want to do with yourself is not to go and start having babies. You just finished school, you just finished one stage of your life, you've done nothing about yourself, you've not built yourself, you've not added further value to yourself, and you go into making children, bringing in children into your life. My dear, you're just setting up yourself for a lot of trauma, a lot of confusion, a lot of, distraction. You don't want to be there. If you left school, you just graduated from higher institution or secondary school, and they've told you that the next thing that your husband is waiting, and he says he cannot wait any longer, and he decides to take you into his home, my dear, and you decided to go or join him in his new home, please, my sister, what you should do with yourself, sit down. If you had goals, I'm assuming you had your life goals all mapped out before these things happened, and maybe you needed to bring your marriage goals forward. What you need to do at that time, this first 5 years of your life, if you had other things you wanted to do to yourself, maybe you wanted to further your education, move on to your master's or your PhD, maybe you wanted to learn a skill, maybe you wanted to change career, or you wanted to start a business, sister, please suspend baby making and move into your goals. Get yourself stable, get yourself standing. The people who moved on into baby making, you can ask them. If you have them around you, please go and discuss with them. Find out what happened. What was their experience? For some of them, they couldn't proceed with what they were doing. Their husbands would tell them, the babies have come now. You have to take care of the babies. You now find yourself becoming only a homemaker, and your dreams, your aspirations are boxed. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want to have to keep your life behind simply because children have come in. Because children come with a lot of demand, a lot of responsibility. You don't want that to be your experience. So, my dear sister, this thing I'm saying, it may sound difficult. It may sound crazy. I know as people are watching, they think this lady, she's out of her mind. But trust me, I can't deceive you. If you do this, you will be a more fulfilled person, because these babies are not going anywhere. The eggs are already in your womb. So what's the rush? What's the rush? So, if you have not done anything about your life, you just finished from school and you found yourself married, the next thing you should do is not to get pregnant and start producing babies in that union. Please go and develop yourself. Because if you have not added value to yourself, you're just doing yourself harm. you're putting yourself in a position where you can be abused by your partner, or anything can happen to you. So please, if this is your situation, put a pause on babies and follow through with your dreams. The babies can always come in at any time. Now, point 3. Why should you suspend baby making 0 to 5 years of your marriage relationship as a woman? A lot of young girls have not even given themselves life. They have not even discovered who they are. They have not even understood the real essence of their existence, the purpose for which they have been made. You have not even developed fully as a human being. You're not human simply because you have body, eyes, nose, you can move your hands and you can, run around or talk, like I'm talking. No, that doesn't make you a complete person. You need to understand the value you carry. You need to understand the potentials in you. You need to understand yourself as a person. You need to understand your value. What are the things that are important to you? How much of these things have you developed in yourself? You need to have this in place before you can bring in another child into your life. Because it is the values that you have developed, that you can pass on to another person. If you've not developed anything, what are you going to give to the child? What are you going to hand over to that child? This is the reason why we have so many problems in our world today. This point 3. People who have not understood the essence of their existence, they've not dealt with their past issues, they have not dealt with the things that are haunting them from their childhood, and they just start bringing babies into their lives. What are they going to pass on to those children? Those children end up becoming worse than them, end up killing them. I read a story last week of a woman whose son murdered in the hotel room. She sent the child abroad for studies, and I don't know what happened to the child. Some people will say it's peer pressure. Call it any name. But I tell you, whatever your child becomes is a product of you as the parents, what you have been able to pass on to that child. If you passed on nothing to that child, the child has nothing but emptiness. So whatever the parents will put in him is what he's going to become. So now the third point for ladies watching this, if you haven't understood yourself, you don't even know your left from your right, you've not given yourself any definition, nothing defines you. You have no business bringing a child into this world, no matter how old you are. If you like, be 50 years. Let's just stop doing things because every other person is doing it. Ask yourself, why do I need this baby now? Why should I even have a baby in the first place? A lot of people are moving from one ministry to another, one home to one herbalist to the other, because they haven't gotten any child. Have you ever sat down to ask yourself this question? Why do I need this child? Have I groomed myself enough? Do I have enough content in me to pass on to the child? Having a child in this world goes beyond clothing him, putting him in a school and feeding him, because that's what a lot of people think that they should have babies for. Just give him clothes, send him to school, put him in church, put him in the mosque, leave him with his friends. You just allow that child to just be growing tall, big for nothing, no content. You can't give the child more than what you have. It's what you have in you that you can pass on to the next person. So if you've not, put any content in yourself, you give nothing to this child. You're just raising another damaged person who is just going to become a nuisance in the society, a nuisance to the next person, to the next generation, if he doesn't take it upon himself to do the same thing you should have done. So my sisters, young ladies who are itching to marry, I'm telling you now, if you must marry, please suspend baby making. Take the time out to build some content, real valuable content in yourself. Understand your essence for living. Understand what you are in this world to do. Understand why you are a human being. Understand why you were born. Understand yourself. And no one can do this for you but you. If you don't do that, I'm telling you, anybody, any child you bring into your life, 50-50, you might destroy that child, or the child might destroy you for the things that you didn't put in them. So that is the third point. Why, if you must marry, suspend baby making for the first 5 years. Then the fourth reason is this: babies are money drainers. If you must bring any child into this world, oh girl, oh boy, pack your pocket with money. That's the only thing they are here for. You're going to spend on them. You spend on diapers, you spend on milk, you spend on water, you spend on hospital, you spend on school fees, you spend on nanny. You're not going to use your blood to pay for these things. It's money. It costs money. Babies cost money. So if there is nothing else you want to do in those first few years, please go and stack up this thing in your bank account too. Because the moment they land here, they are not interested in God will do it too. I remember one of my bosses those days used to tell me, don't worry, just have babies, God will raise them. Now lie, you. Lie. God will not do anything. You are the one who is going to work your time out, jumping from one job to another, looking for one promotion to another, looking for one contract to another, looking for one business to another, just to keep growing that account. Because the more babies you're making, the more money you need to take care of them. So use your first 4 to 5 years as a couple to save. Save for this child before he gets here. Please, enough of disturbing the windows of heaven for the things that, God didn't tell you. He's not the one that asked you to start making these babies. If you don't have the resources, pack it, zip up. Don't bring those children here and start bombarding windows of heaven now. For God's sake. You need to count the cost before these kids get here. So let's be smart. These tips are only for smart women, mothers to be that are smart, that want the truth. Those that don't want the truth, if you're interested in those ones that are suffering and smiling, pasting their pictures all over social media, please don't come to my page. I'm not for all that. I discuss with these people every day, and I know what I'm saying. There is no day that I engage with a woman in this Nigeria that I live in that I don't hear these things I'm talking about. So if you're for the people that are forming, all those fake people online, you can go and continue paying attention to them. But for those that want the truth, I am for truth. Take it or leave it. in a matter of time, you will discover this truth for yourself. But you know the thing about women, we're just used to being fake. I don't do fake. I don't have time for fake. And that's the reason I am for these truths. I am for these secrets. I'm going to spill them all out. That is my name, aka Marriage Army Bo na me. I'm the one who would tell this thing. These things that nobody refused to. Everybody sealed their mouths. They come in, they close their mouths. I'm the one spilling it out. So if you're interested in the truth, pay attention. So those first 4 to 5 years, don't just rush into dropping 1, 2, 3. You're killing yourself. You're killing your account. You won't make any savings. Spend those 5 years developing your resources, building your resources for the number of people, the children that you want to bring in. That's the reason why you don't want to be distracted, because the moment those children land, bam, hey, they're not interested in your stories, oh. They're not interested in their owing salary. The government has been owing me for 3 months. No one cares. Who cares about those cock and bull stories? The children are not interested in those cock and bull stories. They are here for your bills, your payments, your accounts. You're just their ATM. So why not go and prepare for those days ahead of time? That's what smart parents do, smart mothers. That's what they do. And that's why I'm sharing these secrets that people ain't going to share with you anywhere in this world. Nobody's going to tell you this. I'm telling you, in all my years on this planet, only 2 people have been bold enough to share these things with me. And at the time they were even saying this thing, I couldn't understand what they were saying. So, I'm sharing with you now. It's up to you to run with it or to fling it. But I'm going to say mine. Now, the 5th point, and that's where I'm going to stop for today. There are so many reasons I have, but I'm going to just make 5 points today so that you can go and reflect and think on this thing. So the 5th point is death. DEATH. That's what I mean. Death. Yes. Death is going to come to every single one of us. You and I, we are going to die one day. We're not living here forever. The first 5 years of your union, one person may die. For the purpose of this video, what if it's your spouse that goes? What are you going to do with those babies? I know of a lady, the first 5 years, the children didn't come. And by the 5th year, yes, she had a baby. And that was the year her husband died. The baby was just 6 months old. And she had to come back home because they were living abroad. She had to come back with that baby. So let's not say, please don't be the one that is saying, God forbid, it's not my portion. Nigerians, I know we're always about that. It's not my portion. I don't know, is it my own portion? It's nobody's portion. But these things do happen. Are we going to, because of death, not have children again? No, that's not what I'm saying. But the first 5 years, if you listen to all the points I've made, go back and listen to them. Death may happen. And if all you were doing 0 to 5 years was dropping 1 baby each year, 4 babies, woe betide you, your man didn't have any savings for all of you in his account. My dear, the worst place to be as a young lady is to experience the pain of single motherhood. Just if you have friends that have been through what I'm talking about, you'll be able to appreciate what I'm saying. I've met young ladies, most in their cases, most of them, it wasn't about death, okay? Some things happened and, they had to leave and they're with the kids. I know what those women are going through. You don't want to find yourself in that shoe. So please, my sister, first 5 years of your marriage, anything can happen. You may die. He may die. If he dies, what are you going to do if all you had are babies and you have not stacked up enough savings in your account to take care of these ones? Hey, poverty shall be your new name. Sufferhead will be your experience. You don't want to have that story. Save yourself from that pain and trauma. So, young ladies, I know these things sound hard, but there is this Bible quotation that talks about the road to heaven being the narrow one, the broad way, the way that many are following. I'm not on that lane, no. If you want to listen to, I'm not on that broad way. That broad way is the path of death. This one I'm talking about is the path of life. If you want to enjoy peace, comfort, sanity of mind, because this one will be the part 2. What happens once the baby comes? For those that are already in this thing, they know what I'm talking about. The distractions that come with it, the impact on you as a woman. So you need to prepare your mind psychologically, emotionally, physically, mentally, and otherwise before those babies come, so that you will be able to give them the best. Give them what is due them. Don't bring children here to suffer. That's not their call. A lot of children are traumatized in their parents' homes because of these things that I've spoken about. Parents were not prepared for their coming. They don't have anything to offer these children. They didn't keep money in their accounts. They can't send them to good schools. They can't give them good food to eat. And what these children are facing are mothers and fathers are fighting every day. I mean, you don't have to put your children through this kind of things. It's not worth it. A friend of mine would say, it's not worth it. Is not worth it. So my dear sisters, if you have picked anything from this video of mine, please share to many. Share it around. I want many ladies to see this thing and hear these things. Of course, they will not believe. They will not accept. But just keep sharing it. I know out of multitudes, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 will be able to hear these things and run with it. But keep your comments coming. Let me know what you think about this video. But don't forget to share it. So for now, I'm going to just stop here for today. Till next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.